Let me start by acknowledging the traditional owners on the lands we are connecting in from. I'm on Turrbal Yagara country in Meanjin. May we pay respects to the elders, families, businesses, and communities. We also acknowledge you and your organisation and all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are listening into our yarning circle. The Keriba Building Construction Program is powered by Tagaimc Management Consultants and supported by Construction Skills Queensland. The Keriba Building Construction Program provides support to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander businesses within the building and construction industry in far North Queensland and North Queensland. The area covered goes from Bowen up to the Torres Strait Islands and out towards the North Territory border. During the program, the Yarning Circle is an opportunity for brothers and sisters who are part of the Keriba community of practice to share their knowledge, experience, and information for the benefit of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander building and construction businesses in far North Queensland and North Queensland. I'd like to welcome Peter Fry, who is the Executive Director for the Housing Industry Association, North Queensland. Peter, how are you this morning?
I'm good, thanks, Brianna. How are you? It's good, lovely to be here, catching up.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet you. It's so good to have somebody from Housing Industry Association as well as the executive director actually come in and give some advice and support to our businesses. So thank you so much. Now, will you tell us a little bit more about HIA and your role within it?
Yeah, no problem. HIA is the Housing Industry Association, where basically we're the voice of the residential building industry in the region. We're a membership organisation that we provide policy, guidance and support to industries and people that are in the building industry. So, we basically are, in summary, probably the support mechanism and really an indispensable business partner to people in the industry. So we provide that bit of a safety network with them. So a lot of my role as the executive director, and my role is fairly large, one of our biggest regions. The thing about HIA is that we have a lot of regions and areas across the country, but Queensland's broken up into three. Because of our size, we have a regional office in the Gold Coast that handles Gold Coast, Northern New South Wales. We have our office in Queensland, in Brisbane, which handles the South Queensland. And then I handle, as executive director, report to our national body and handle North Queensland. So I handle from Gladstone to the islands in the Cape, as well as then out to Mount Isa. So it's a broad area that I've got control of. And, we've got a number of staff spread across that region. Our regional office is based here in Townsville, but we've also got a branch office in Cairns with staff based there. And we go from there. And a lot of what I do is I work with a lot of the local and state governments and industry bodies on adopting policy and also promoting HIA brand. So a lot of what we do is, work with governments about what the issues are, what we need to address, what technical requirements or building, code changes that the government are implementing, whether they're good, bad or indifferent. We try and work with getting those out to the industry. But we also then provide feedback from the industry to government. So if there's issues that, our members and the industry and the community are experiencing, we provide that conduit back to government that gives them that voice.
Fantastic. Now, are there services or benefits that can be provided for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander building and construction businesses within far North Queensland and North Queensland?
Most definitely, and a lot of what they require in the industry is no different to all businesses in the industry. So, one of the things that we can provide to a lot of the Indigenous building businesses is we can turn around and provide a support mechanism with technical advice. So we can help them. We have a technical team. We have a legal and workplace team. So if they've got HR issues and things like that, we can help them around those issues as a member. And we can provide support to them and training. So a little bit like yourselves, you provide a number of different training programs. We have access to a lot of different training programs as well that we can provide to support them in their business growth. And that's the big challenge in any business, particularly in our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island businesses in construction, is getting the resources and the tools to develop their business.
Absolutely. I just wanted to ask, when it comes to the training programs, a lot of our building and construction businesses are on the tool. They're always working. Do they have a program where it's online, or it's not as big of a commitment?
Look, one of the great things that we changed about, I joined the organisation, came from the member side. So I came from our business side of it into this role, and I was the past president for 2 years. One of the things that when I came in, I walked basically straight in, and then we went into COVID shutdown. So
Right.
one of the
Yes.
big things while we were in that COVID shutdown, we did particularly in Queensland, because of, as you just said, Brianna, the wideness of our region, as well as a lot of our members are all small members. They're on the tools, right? So they're working during the day, they go home and run their business of a night. So they don't have the time to do it. So one of the things that we did, we changed a lot of our training courses to online, and
Fantastic.
a lot of them are also recorded. So the great thing about it is that they can do their online training either overnight or something like that, or there's recordings that they can come back to. So even like the small business program, you have programs in that. With CSQ, we have other small sides of the small business program with CSQ. They're all recorded and they're all done online, so that they have that opportunity of doing it when they have the opportunity, when they have the time, and then we're available to handle and help them with any questions that they may have as they transition through that training.
That's brilliant. I'm so glad to hear that. It's weird how COVID has affected us so much, but it's also provided some help to some people that it might have not been provided to them beforehand. It's really, really good to see.
Oh, and I think what it's also done is it's made businesses change, but it's also helped a lot of our small businesses where, as
Absolutely.
you said previously, all training used to be around sitting in class and learning, or going places and learning. So now it's forced us to make those changes or bring them ahead of time. They were probably already in the process of happening, but we had to escalate the quick change so that's been done. So the great thing about, and I've been a big pusher for years here, because of our widening, you're not going to have someone in one of the Torres Strait Islands going to go to Cairns
Yeah,
to do a
exactly.
2-hour course.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the problem we had is a lot of our businesses and our Aboriginal Torres Strait Island businesses missed out on education because they weren't in the financial viability position or in the time position to go and take 2 days off to do a 2-hour course
Yeah.
traveling. So this is the great thing now, is that these businesses have got that opportunity. It's also, what we've also seen is that we've actually increased our technical and our workplace support online, so that we've got those opportunities. A typical
Brilliant.
example of that training is, particularly for our building industry businesses, where they might want to know about contracts, understanding contracts. We've got that as a 2-hour session
Wow.
training, so that they can understand that, go through that, and then our workplace team are there to be able to talk to them over the phone and walk them through anything that they need to do. Whereas previously, you would have had to have gone to a course in TAFE or a course in HIA or whoever, and sit down for 2 or 3 hours twice and do it. Just couldn't
Yeah.
do it. And it's no different to whether it be, our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island members in Mount Isa. They're not necessarily going to travel 10 hours to come to Townsville.
No, no.
So these are the things that we've really looked at implementing to do that. The same thing is, at the moment we're about to go through the National Construction Code changes, which are a huge thing in our industry,
Yes.
that the federal government and state governments are bringing in now. We're doing talks in each of our 4 major cities, but we're also, members can actually log in and request, once as of the 17th of September, what we're delivering will actually be available online.
Wow.
So that one of the things is our members can actually, and people can register to get access to that after the 17th of September online, so that we can then help them through that process. And that's one of the things I've particularly pushed because of our distance in our regional communities.
Yes, exactly. So we have a few of our Keriba participants are in Kawanyama and the Torres Strait. What kind of support can HIA give to those businesses that are in such a remote area besides the online programs?
Oh, look, we've also got, our people, and one of the things that I've set up, we haven't got to it yet, but certainly with our team based in Cairns, we are looking at expanding out to and doing regular visits there. So it might be a once in a year visit, or it might be that we sit down and work with those guys, those people around in those areas, and say, right, what do you need? What do you want? Okay, we'll come up here once a year. We'll bring a road show through. One of the things that we're looking at for 2023, hopefully, is to be able to do a bit of a travelling road show.
That'd be
With
so
the support
exciting.
of some of the industry people and the government, we might be able to turn around and get a number of businesses that might be interested as suppliers to get out there. So that's the couple of things that we're trying to look at being able to do. But what we really need to do is talk to those businesses in those regions and find out, what do you actually want?
Yes.
Right. I think that's the biggest challenge is with anything in the Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander communities, is that I think a lot of times industry and government have relied on saying, this is what we're going to do for you,
Yeah,
rather than asking the communities, what do you need us to help you with?
exactly. Exactly. That's so good to hear. This roadshow is very exciting as well. But it's good, nice to see a business that's actually trying to listen to those people that are in need. So that's wonderful. Now, what are 3 top tips for our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander building construction businesses to take away from this yarn that we're having today?
Look, one of the things I would say is that any business, but particularly our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander businesses, one of the big tips I'd say is, don't hold yourself back. I believe a lot of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander business people they've got faith in themselves, their community's got faith in them, but all of a sudden outside the community, there's this big world that we get worried about. And I just say to them, there's no different. Don't hold yourself back. You've got the skills, you've got the ability, just have a go.
Mm.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing, is get in there and have a go. If we do that and you get off and running, you're in the right way.
Absolutely.
Right? Everything can be steered from there. The other thing I'd say to the businesses is to look at making your own niche. So one of the challenges is in a community is that you can generally be a generalist, right?
Yes.
And look after everything. That's great, but I also believe you need to be able to make your own niche. So specialize in what you do good and do it well. And I think we're seeing that with more Aboriginal Torres Strait businesses coming to the forefront. When you look at the opportunities that businesses have today is huge. And I'll talk on that next. But the third thing I'd say to them, and we were just talking about it earlier, is it's not so much saying let's learn, but let's always continually professionally develop ourselves.
Absolutely.
So it's not so much we're saying to you, you need to learn something. No, you know what you're doing, but you need to continually professionally develop yourself. And the building industry is bad for that. If you look at accountants or you look at lawyers, they've always got to continually professionally develop. So as an industry, we need to do it, particularly in our Aboriginal Torres Strait Islanders. They're isolated. They sometimes forget that they need to develop. And
That's true. Yes.
that's one of the reasons that, we need to talk to them about what do you need and how do we develop a course or a program or whatever they need, an event that caters for that, so that we can do that, whether it be online, whether it be in person, whether it be, we need to do that. But professionally developing yourself is always going to mean that you're going to get better and you can improve your business, which then improves. And if you improve your business and you employ people, that's helping more local people. That's also helping more, kids into and youth into skills. That's helping more people into becoming self-sufficient. And I think
Exactly.
that's what we all want to do.
Yeah, especially since there's a kind of a skill decrease at the moment. It's good, that's really good advice. Just always keep trying to improve yourself is always such a great advice.
That's right. Look, there's a great
Absolutely.
opportunity, and going on the skills market. One of the things is there's great opportunities for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders at the moment in the building industry. Because a lot of our youth, they like outdoors, they like being outdoors, they like being involved with the country and our land and everything like that. So there's a great opportunity to use those skills
Yes.
with their hands and building things. one of the things that I've said coming back into the industry from being on the member side has been, I would love nothing more to see our communities build housing for themselves.
Yes.
Instead of what we've seen, and I've been up through Cairns and Keriba and all those places, and seeing that, no disrespect to government, they've tried to help, but what's happened is we've had outlying people come in and build houses for what we think the communities need, and it hasn't been what they want.
Yeah.
So if we can get that opportunity. The other side of it is, there's a lot of our Aboriginal Torres Strait Island building businesses now know in some of the communities, there is a big push in your large tier 1, tier 2 constructions where you've got to have a percentage of Indigenous workforce, right? So one of the challenges that's great to put it on paper, but we need to train the youth to get that skills to be able to do that.
Yes, exactly.
So now's an opportunity to providing, particularly with the government opportunities in apprenticeships and the dollars in training that's available, that now some of our Aboriginal Torres Strait Island businesses in the building industry can actually employ some trades, can actually employ apprentices. And the great thing about the building industry in North Queensland is a lot of our members actually, they employ the businesses. If you look at some of the big building industries in, no disrespect, Brisbane, Sydney, and those places, the building industry are what I call front of house. So they have a lot of admin people and staff. They don't actually employ the trades because their subcontractors do that. Now the opportunity in our communities around the islands and the Cape and through Mount Isa and all that, those businesses, they employ the people direct. So the young person's working for the owner of the business and the builder, and they're getting taught all the different skills that are needed to be able to undertake that. So now's a great time to get into the industry, or a great time to get people into the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a couple of participants actually do that, like taking in the Indigenous youth and trying to train them so that they have an opportunity to have some sort of employment, which is amazing. Where can we get more? Sorry,
you're right.
I was just wondering, where can we get more information about HIA, like the website or?
Most definitely, yeah. HIA.com.au, our website, right? That's there. It provides all the information that we have, what we provide out to the industry, to the communities, to our members. But certainly, if they want to know, how to become a member, what's the advantages? There's a lot of advantages being a member. I always sit there and say to a lot of our members, I've been a member for 25 years before coming to work in the organisation. But one of the things that I say to people, it's a bit like, your health fund. Yeah, it's something you pay for, but you don't know it's there until you need to use it. Right. But there is things that we can help with use. As I said earlier in our discussions, technical, workplace, HR, legal advice. Right, there's all those opportunities that we can do and we provide to our members that they don't have to pay for. There is other things then that they can get member benefits from in buying contracts, and we have contracts online so that all the contracts that they need to use is available online, and they get those as members as a discount. There's also as member you get discounted training. So some networking sessions are provided to members free of charge. Other sessions are provided at a discounted rate for members as against non-members. So our members get a benefit. So, there's provisions right around that to be able to do. And then we give them regular updates. Like at the moment, the NCC, National Construction Code changes that are occurring, is that we've been consistently going out to members with, these are what we believe are the updates. This is when we think they're going to be. This is what you need to do next, so that the members are well in advance of being advised. If they're not part of an organisation, they'll only wait and see that when the media brings it out or something like that. And as we know, a lot of times the media only look at one side of the story rather than both sides of the story.
Right.
So HIA.com.au is a great place. Or alternatively, particularly for our far northern people, we've got our office based in Cairns, right, where they can contact them or contact myself. And I can certainly happy to help and steer them into the right areas and the right things for doing.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Peter, for being a part of our community of practice yarning circle. Your advice has been amazing, and I'm sure that our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander businesses would have taken something away from our yarn today.
Look,
Well,
certainly, love. Sorry, it's great to be here, and it's great to have the yarning circles and get it out. And I think what you're doing is great to get this information out to our industries and that. And happy to be anything we can do and anything I can do to help. Most definitely, just
thank
ask.
you so much. That's so much. That's really appreciated. I'm sure that a lot of our viewers will take a lot of information from our video today. It's just amazing advice. Thank you so much. Well, let us finish where we started by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we're all on and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. I would also extend that respect to all the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today watching this video. If you're an established Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander building and construction business operating in the Far North Queensland and North Queensland regions, contact us to be a part of the program. We would love to have you on board. If you're a buyer, government department, or industry supplier who would like to support the program, we encourage you to contact us as well. If you're interested in HIA and would like more information, HIA's contact details as well as Peter's will be in the description below. Once again, I'd like to awaso to Peter for joining us on our Deadly Yarn today, and to everyone watching, have a deadly day.